and welcome to another PWM. This week we are planning the of the 10th through the 16th, which is the week of the anniversary of when my mom passed away. So naturally, one of my least favorite weeks of the year. So this is also the week that I started to not feel good. So, you know, great. Update, 3 weeks later, I'm finally starting to feel better. It's been literally a nightmare. So for this week, I'm going to be using the Cozy Fall Kit. My mom was a big fan of the Autumn, unlike I, so I will be using this for her. Then I do have these extra girly pops. I'm just going to use the ones in the kit though, as well as these girly pops. Oh, I guess she's being swapped out with the blondie because I bought these. And my madre was a blondie. So then I have these two doodle sheets. And I have got the PSL bundle in Pixie Rose. PSL headers, this page, the retro fall quotes, the washi, and the PSL2 underlays. So we're just gonna jump into it. I'm gonna be honest, the day that I'm filming this is December 2nd, so hopefully I can recall things from this week. Lotion over in case I need it again, because we're doing a Plan With Me marathon, baby. We got 3 to go today. I'm waiting for some stuff to upload to my Google Drive for a video. It's just taking so dang long. I feel like it like freezes and I have to close the app and then it starts going again. I don't know. Any hoodly doodle. On this Monday, Andrea and I were flying back from Chicago. We were supposed to have a pretty early in the morning flight, but this week was like a combination of things. There was all the the TSA issues that had been going on starting that weekend, as well as a snowstorm in Chicago. So our original flight got canceled, and then we had booked 2 different flights from there that both got canceled, and yeah, it was really a stressful situation. And our flight ended up not being till the evening, but we had to check out of our hotel, so we literally just went. We had like a lazy morning at the hotel, literally just kind of chilling there until checkout. We checked out. We took an Uber to the airport, and then we got McDonald's breakfast at the airport and McDonald's lunch at the airport because we missed McDonald's at this point. There was not one really close to our hotel, and we were like, we're deprived of the Donald's. I'm gonna use the date numbers from my foil bundle. These are in font choice 5 as well as the whole protectors, which are whole choice 3. So we went to the airport, got McDonald's twice, like I said, and then Andrea had her laptop, so she just kind of worked the whole time, and I just read. I was reading Wyatt by Jessica Peterson, and then I was reading When She Returned by Lucinda Berry. Make sure you're following over on my book channel, Hannah's Reading Realm. I am in the process of doing Bookmas, so that will be 25 videos leading up and on Christmas, so super fun. But we did that, then we had our flight to the good old Austin, thank God, and then I got home and I was just pooped. I had been sleeping so poorly at the hotel. I don't know what it was about that hotel bed, but it was not agreeing with me one bit. The first thing I did Tuesday morning upon arriving home, because we got home pretty late, like 11ish maybe. So upon that, I unpacked first thing in the morning and did a bunch of filming, and then I worked and watched YouTube, and Chris and I played Mario Kart that evening, which was fun, and I read. Then we move into Wednesday. I, of course, called my dad as part of my Wednesday tradition. And then did a fat chunk of filming. I watched some YouTube. I had tons of stuff to catch up on. Well, it was just, I watched stuff. I had all of my YouTube to catch up on, as well as my shows. Oh, there's no scene. That is always throwing me off when there is no scene. So, okay. I hate that I have to use the cat box. If I'm being honest with you, it's causing me distress. But I'm just going to put the other two boxes on this page so I just can only look at the one page. So, like, I had to catch up on Survivor, Ink Master, Love Island, Australia, like very just behind on everything. So I did that, and then I did some video editing. I had D&D that night, and then this was the night that I started to feel kind of shitty and had my first really bad night's sleep. It's just been tragic. And another reason I think it's allergies is now that it's finally getting like cold and dead out there, I'm starting to feel better. So, that was, in fact, Thursday. Wednesday. But D&D was really, really fun. I've had a whole nother session since then. But I think that session was one of my favorite sessions we've had. It was very exploratory and fun. They gained a lot of information. They finally left the main town and really got out there and did some things. It was a ton of fun. Thursday, I woke up with a pounding headache. Pounding, rip my head off type of headache. We went and got groceries. I got McDonald's. We always usually get McDonald's after groceries. It's like Chris buys the groceries and then I buy us McDonald's. It's like our little tradition thing that we do, which is really fun and cute. So, of course, we did that. And then I came home and I read and worked. And I think at this point I was beginning to work on new releases for Black Friday, which if anybody did shop or support my sale in any way during Black Friday, I am just so beyond deeply grateful for you. So thank you. From the literal bottom of me heart. Thank you. So, did that and then worked and then watched some TV in the evening, and that was Thursday. Friday was the day of sadness. It was the day of my mom's dying anniversary. She died 9 years ago. She was 48 years old. I was 21 and my sister was 17, and it was literally like traumatizing. It's like when you watch like a dramatic reenactment type of thing is literally like how it feels when I think back on that day. It's really, really bad. But anywho, so it was that day, and I like to try to make the best out of it. My mom loved Christmas, and she always decorated quite early, so it's become a tradition that my sister and I both choose to honor her and celebrate her by decorating for Christmas on her death anniversary. My dad even ended up, my parents were divorced, but my dad was so still deeply in love with her. Obvious to anybody who has literally ever seen him or talked to him, but he even decorated quite early this year. So we did wake up, and what did I have to do? I think had to like get out of bed, get ready, I was picking up the house. I had to get the house picked up. And so because I wanted to get the house picked up, I said to Chris, I'm like, hey, like, can you run and get us McDonald's breakfast? So he did, and we had a lovely McDonald's brekkie in the morning, and then we decked the halls, decked our house out for Christmas, which it looks really, really good. If you watch the like vlog from that week, I should do like a walkthrough of everything, but put up all 3 of our trees, put all of the decorations throughout the house. I think every room besides Chris's office has some sort of Christmas decor, which is really fun. And so, I love that. And he also asked for, and I'm pretty sure he got, because pretty much everything off of his Christmas list got purchased because his Christmas list sucked. But he asked for like a little side table for his office for next to the bed in there. And if he got that, then next year there will be a Christmas decoration in there because like there will be a spot to put it. But anywho, we decorated, and then we did go to Target because I think 3, I think. No. One of my chunks of string lights had kicked the bucket, so we had to go get some lights, as well as I wanted to get some new decorations for my bookshelves because I have, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. I only had bookshelves on one side of our room last year, and now I have them on both sides, so I had to simply rectify my decoration collection to reflect all of my new shelves, of course. So we did that, and then another thing we always do on my mom's death day is get pizza. Pizza was my mom's favorite food, to the point that the pizza place back home that we were like big into was called Gino and Joe's, and they had a deal on Wednesdays. This was obviously like nearly 10 years ago, but at the time of her dying, they had this deal where you could get a large cheese pizza for $10 or $8, one of the two, on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, my mom didn't work on Mondays or Tuesdays or Sundays. She was a nail tech, so she made her own schedule. But on Wednesdays, she would get out of work and come over to my apartment, and we would get pizza together. And so we always get pizza for my mom. And then we started our Christmas movie journey, which we had full plans to watch one Christmas movie until Christmas. We've fallen off already, and it has not been that long, but between me being out of town and just life, have not had a chance to get back on that bullshit. But we watched our first Christmas movie of the year, which was The Grinch, one of my favorites, the Jim Carrey one, which was actually quite fitting because if you don't know, this year is the 25-year anniversary of it, which is actually fucking criminal. It's kind of crazy to think that that movie came out when I was 5, and like I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, maybe it's a trauma thing, who really knows. I feel like I don't really have barely any memories of being a kid, like especially that young. That's like when my parents got divorced, and I don't have a single memory of them being married, so do with that info what you will. But this movie having come out literally when I was 5, I don't know a world without that version of The Grinch, basically. But yeah, so we watched The Grinch and had a blast. It was tons of fun. And yeah, it made the most out of a really, really difficult day for me, which is really all that I can ask for. And both my sister and I have been having an extra difficult time this year. Just like life sucks, the world sucks, and sometimes you just want to call your mom, and when you can't, it sucks. So then on Saturday I woke up, I worked, and I read. It was junk journal day, so I drove over to Andrea's and we went to her junk journaling club. It's her last one that she was hosting at the bookstore, and we're next time having it at the library, which I'm very excited about because actually got to work on making freebies for that in her next event. I was really excited I'm really excited about doing it at the library because the tables are so much more space to spread out. The tables are 10 out of 10 at the library. Okay, so anything else that, I'm gonna put these little pumpkins on the girl. So then I did that, and then I came home, and, well, I talked to my dad on the way to Junk Club, and then I could not sleep this night. Literally, I was dying. I think because of the congestion that I was experiencing, it made sleep really hard because I could not sleep with the fan on because the fan was making me cough. So it made things incredibly difficult, which was really annoying. So I slept like shit talkie mushrooms, and then Sunday I worked and I read, and then I watched YouTube, and then I was just real like, what the fuck about me, because like I had felt pretty good on Saturday. Otherwise I would not have went to Junk Club, but like I was feeling good. Like I was like, okay, like I'm over whatever this bullshit is. Then I took a turn for the worst on Sunday, and I again had like a horrible, like I just had to lay in bed with the lights off headache. It was just really bad. But Chris and I did watch another Christmas movie together that day. I think we were watching Home Alone 2, if I'm remembering correctly. We watched Home Alone 1 the night before. I didn't mark it, but because I had other things to mark, but yeah. So we did that. And I just gotta do the headers. But yeah, it was a pretty decent week given the week that it was. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty good, all considered, as I think the phrase I'm looking for. It's obviously never like a fun week in my life. It always has like a bit of heaviness to it, just given the nature of the week and what occurred that week for me. So, you know, but being able to stay busy is very helpful for me, because if I am not busy, I will dwell, and that's where things get bad for me. So I'm glad I was able to stay busy through friends, through work, through all the things. And it's so bizarre for me to be using a fall kit. I've not used a fall kit in years because I am so anti-fall. My reasons for being anti-fall are my fall allergies, historically my whole life, have been very bad. And they hit new heights this year. Additionally, it's like the anniversary of when my mom died. And additionally, to me, it's like, especially growing up where it was cold, fall was just like the time in which everything started dying to prepare for winter. And it doesn't even have Christmas to make it better. So, and I don't like Halloween or Thanksgiving. So, that's that. Let us zoom in for the day by day. Y'all, this foil is actually fucking nutso. She looks beautiful. Such a freaking beauty queen. Okay, so where is all my things? I'm for sure gonna need my binder because this kit was before the second doodle sheet came into play. So I'm just gonna pull that out so it's nearby and ready to go. Oh, like where are all the pages of the kit? They're over here. They're over here, silly rabbit. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna mark is lazy mornings. We did have our little lazy AM at the hotel. And then we went to the airport. Most of our trip to Chicago, if you watched my last plan with me, we were train girls, but the train was like 3/4 of a mile away, which is fine to walk in when it's not snowing and you're not carrying bags and suitcases. So we were just like, yeah, no, we're just gonna get an Uber, especially because the price of Uber had significantly dropped. I think the Uber only ended up being like 30 bucks where it was like 80 bucks before, so you know. So for the lazy morning, I'm going to use the bed icon from the mini icons sheet. Again, I am using Pixie Rose. And then for the airport, I'm going to use a car icon from the mini icons sheet. And then for us getting McDonald's twice, I think that really truly called for Lottie with her Happy Meal, especially because we did get Happy Meals for dinner time. I'm going to be using font choice 15 for my custom scripts. I have a custom multi XL, which gets you up to 60 scripts. So we've got lazy morning, we've got airport, and we have got McDonald's. And then we will move into the, oh my god, I forgot to take a picture of the base. Well, too late now. I guess we're not doing that for the spread. Oh well. Oh well, I guess. It's really devastating because it's really pretty. Oh man. So we will use this to mark reading. And then I'll use a label to mark flying to Austin. And a big little thing to mark being tired AF. Because that was my truth. Okay, so for reading, we'll grab the stack of books. For flying home, we're going to use the airplane icon from the mini icons sheet. And for being just exhausted and ready for bed, we're going to use another bed icon from the mini icons sheet. Gonna grab a read script, a to Austin script, and then I'm gonna use a script from the foil bundle, so that'll be in a different font, and font choice 5, and it's just gonna say tired as a fuck, because that was for sure your girl. So on to Tuesday, the first thing I did on Tuesday was unpack. And then I did a wee bit of filming. And I worked. So for unpacking, I'm going to use the suitcase icon from the mini icons sheet. And for filming, I'm going to use the, that's a birthday cake. Grabbed the wrong one. They were right next to each other. And then I use the filming camera for filming. And for working, we'll use Lottie at her computer. Unpack. Film. And work. Down here, I will mark that I had a YouTube binge. Chris and I played Mario together, and I did read. Okay, so for watching YouTube, I'm going to use the YouTube laptop. For Chris and I playing Mario, I'm going to use the Switch. And for reading, I'm going to use the book icon from the mini icons sheet. So I'll use a YouTube binge script, a with Chris script, and then a read script. Amazing. Next, we'll move in to Wednesday, where the first thing I did was call my dad. Okay. Then I filmed. And then I had a bit of a binge watch. Okay, so for calling my dad, I'm going to use the smartphone icon on the mini icons sheet. And for binge watching, we're going to use the TV. And then I'm gonna have to get something out of my collection for filming. Grab this little camcorder situation. So for talking with my dad, we'll get a with dad. For filming, we'll grab a film. And then for binge watching, I'm going to use a script from the foil bundle, which is in font choice 5. And it's going to say binge watch. And then that's going to be the first half of Wednesday. Moving down, down, down. We are going to mark editing. Then I will mark D&D. And then I'll mark that I slept like poo-poo caca at the bottom. Because that was unfortunately the reality I was facing. Okay, so for editing, I'm going to use the computer mini icon because duh. For D&D, I do need to get something out of my collection because the D&D sticker is on the other sheet that I don't currently have. Let's see what I can do. Will match pretty decent. Perfect. And then for sleeping like shit because I didn't feel great, I'm going to use Sick Lottie to mark that. So I'm going to get an edit script, a D&D script, and then for slept like shit, I'm going to use a script from the foil bundle, which will be in font choice 5. And that's the first half of the week. So Thursday, I woke up with a gnarly headache. So we'll start with that. Then we went to get groceries whenever I could, you know, function. We got fast food and I did read. So for the headache, I'm going to use the pill icon from the mini icons sheet. Then for groceries, I'm going to use a grocery cart icon from the mini icons sheet. Fast food icon for getting McDonald's. And then the book icon for reading. So we'll mark headache. Then we'll mark grosh. I'm going to use fast food strip from the foil bundle, which is in font choice 5. It is mixed fonts on the foil bundle. It just happens to be like all the ones that I need are always the same font. And then read. Amazing. Moving down to the lower portion, we worked and we watched telly. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I love this little plaid. It's so cute. Work and then watched all of my shows. Okay, so for working, I'm gonna use the retro computer, and then for watching my shows, we'll use Lottie at her big old TV. So we're gonna use work, and then I'll use TV time from the foil bundle, which is in a different font choice 4. Amazing. Moving in to the next day, the first thing I'm going to mark is that it is the 9-year anniversary. So that'll be the first thing that we mark, and then we will use a little thing for McDonald's breakfast, and then we will mark that we did our Christmas decor. So for the 9 years, I'm gonna get something out of my doodles. Gonna use these angel wings from SPC. And then for getting McDonald's breakfast, I'm gonna get the fast food icon. And then for decorating for Christmas, I'm obviously gonna get something out of my doodles that's Christmassy, because any chance to use Christmas stuff, we take those. I do not have a lot in the orange family. That's too orange. Far too orange. Brown. We're gonna have to go brown. Huh. This should work, right? Yeah, we'll use that. It looks so cute. Little Christmas lights. Okay. So we are gonna get my scripts and we're gonna write 9 years, McDonald's breakfast, and Christmas decor. Amazing. Then down here, we are gonna mark that we ran to Target. We got pizza for my mother and we watched The Grinch, which I'm gonna have to skip the light color because The Grinch. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So if we're going to Target, I'm going to use a mini shopping bag icon. And then for getting pizza for my mom, we're going to use the mini pizza icon. Then I'm not going to use a script or a sticker for The Grinch. So we're going to Target. We're going to do for mom. And then I just have a script that says The Grinch. Moving up here, we will be marking work, and let's see then, work and read. Perfect. We will use the sticker for work because I was making stuff for the junk journaling event the next day, or this day. And then read, work and read. And then I did, like I said, talk on the phone with my dad on the way there. And went to the event, of course. Oh my, this is the first time I'm gonna use the white pattern. Or no, I guess I used it one other time. Use this for can't sleep. So for talking to my dad, I'm gonna use the other smartphone icon on the mini icons sheet. And then for the event, I'm gonna use the journal sticker. And for not being able to sleep, this match, and just good enough. We'll use the little bunny slippers. So we've got a with dad, GTX event, and can't sleep. Amazing. On to Sunday, we will be marking work and read. Working at the car wash. And reading. So for working, we've got the laptop sticker. We can throw that in. Grab a read script. Perfect. Work and read. Okay, and then the bottom portion, we are gonna mark YouTube binge, a little WTF because I started to feel horrible again. And a good old watched a movie with Christopher. So for YouTube binge, I'm going to use the movie clapper icon from the mini icons sheet. For the little WTF moment, I'm going to use another pill icon. And then for watching a movie with Chris, I'm going to use the TV icon. Okay, so we are going to grab YouTube binge, WTF, and with Chris. And that's everything. We will zoom out and take a peek at her. But I think she is very sparkly, very pretty, very fabulous. And there you go. There is the final spread. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.